This song was what I listened to because I knew it was time for me to do something else. It was time for me to close this chapter of my life. Anything you want to do in life, all you got to do is start. Press play. Hey y'all, hey. It's your girl, Tana's my realtor. What does this say? Can you see it? Latanya Epps, realtor. You already know when I come before you, I am going to give you a little bit of real estate. That's just plugging, letting you know that I'm an agent. I'm Tana's my realtor on all social media platforms, and I can be reached at 843-230-5023. I will never leave that out. I am going to be looking real cute. Real cute. I ain't got no hair today, y'all. You see it. And you're going to have real talk with your homegirl, Tana's my realtor. So, it's already been 2 episodes. Let me take the glasses off for a second. It's already been 2 episodes. And I've been getting great feedback. I pray that these videos reach many. However, if it just reaches you, mission accomplished. Hopefully, I am speaking to the person inside of you that don't know what your next play should be, don't think that you can make it, don't know how to do it. I'm going to give you the same answer every time. Go to God. Go to God. I got to always reference back to the very first podcast that I dropped when I said I heard God and did disobey, did not listen. I got to always go back. You got to lean on the word and just go to God. So I want to talk to you on this episode, and I got a couple notes because I want to be all over the place. Remember, I'm 48 years young, and I got a long life of different plays that I've executed. So to kind of keep me on track with each and every one, I'm going to have some notes just so I can stay there. But in this one, I want to talk about, you know that song, I Found Love on a Lonely Highway. Yeah, I want to talk about that. How I found love on a lonely highway. So, when adversity hit me a minute ago, mind you, when I say adversity, I'm not talking about a little bit of trouble. I'm talking about when it came time for me to face reality to what it really was. That's what I mean when I say when adversity hit. So I made up my mind. First of all, I struggled for a minute about how I was going to do what I was going to do. I went into a little slump about my health, my finances, my love life, my children, and everything was blurry to me. When I say blurry, I just had to stand still. I prayed somewhat, but in the prayers that I prayed, I could not hear God. Could not hear God. Most of my prayers was like, Our Father, I come to you as humble as I know how. Jesus, I need you to come down right now in my life, and I need you to fix anything you know broken, God. You know what's broken, God. You know how I need you, God. I need you to show up for me. Most of my prayers started off like that. God was like, one day he showed up on that sofa because that's where I was sleeping. Mind you now, I had just went half with my other half and bought a bedroom set, complete bedroom set for like $8,000. So you know that nice mattress and good old bedroom set, I couldn't even sleep in it. I was kicked out the room and on the sofa. So God came, he sat on that sofa, and he said to me, this is how I heard it, my child, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. I honestly didn't know what I wanted. I know what I did not want it. I know what I no longer wanted. I know what I did not need. I know it was going to take something different to get me somewhere else. So fast forward. I still kind of sat in my shit for a minute and did nothing. I had a homegirl. We don't talk often, but when we talk, we talk. Her birthday was coming up, and I decided that I was going to take her out for her birthday. I really needed to get out the house too. This was probably about I don't want to quote the dates because I don't want to be wrong. But the new year had already came in. We were getting out the house, and that day we were getting ready to go. I had worked in a salon, and she was like, I know you're tired, Tana. If you don't want to go, it's fine. I said, listen, I already made plans to go, and if you don't want to go, it's fine. I'm going to go without you, and I'm going to celebrate you. I told her I was going anyway, with or without you. So I made one of my other homegirls go, so like, why not being three of us? We went out to eat, and after we left the restaurant where we ate, we went to the club. And when I was in the club listening at the band and chopping it up with people that I knew, putting on a front now, because I was doing bad. Remind you, I'm going back home to go on the couch in the house that I paid for by myself. But I was going back home to get on that couch. But that night when I stepped out, I was beautiful. I was looking good. I was ready to. So this night, just like any other night, I had people coming from all walks of life, introducing themselves. A good friend of mine from when I ran a nightclub was in the club, and he introduced me to a couple other people that was big time in the town. We shook hands, exchanged business cards, because mind you, I don't go no place without my business cards. And when I decided I was going to leave that spot that night, on my drive from Charleston, South Carolina, something was just telling me, reminding me, Tan, do you know who you are? Like, it's a whole world out there for you. It's people out there that's ready to replace, ready to jump in and give you what you need. But they're not going to meet you on that couch. Because for one, they ain't invited in your house. They're not coming on the couch with you. So I went home, went to bed, prayed, watched TV, prayed, watched TV. Sunday morning came, because I think we went out on a Friday. Could have been a Saturday. But anyway, Sunday morning came. I got up off the chair, and I said, I'm going to work out. Mind you, every time I went to the gym with a trainer, with somebody that was motivating me to work, and come home, and I would have to get accused of being at the gym, flirting or being with people or just crazy stuff. But anyway, I didn't even like going in the gym if I wasn't going in the gym with somebody that knew what my issues was, what I wanted to work out. So I got up this morning and I went to the gym by myself, for myself. Listen, by myself, for myself. I had took notes in my phone of some of the things that I had worked on prior when I was with my motivator, my pusher. So I kind of did those things. I left the gym feeling so restored, feeling so refreshed. So I came home and I said, I could do this. I could do this. So I made a commitment that I was going to pay my trainer to train me at least 4 days a week in Florence, which was going to be a 50-minute drive at 5 o'clock. So this is how I got that routine. I had to get up at 4 o'clock just to be ready by 5, to drive to Florence, to be there by 6 to train. It was easy for me to get up because my bed was cold as ice. I was no longer there. The chair was starting to get uncomfortable. And I got 2 other rooms that I could have went into, but I just felt comfortable on the chair. It was just convenient to be right there. So I made up my mind, I'm going to start this new routine. So I start the new routine. And every morning I'm listening at the Donnie McClarklin. I'm listening at his morning show. So different songs that I haven't really heard in the gospel mix came on, and if I wasn't feeling it, because sometimes it takes a lot for me to connect. So if I wasn't feeling it, I would just switch and play what I want to play, my own gospel music. But this particular morning, something said, don't turn, Tan, don't turn. So I did not turn. On my way for what I thought was going to build muscle, God showed up. I heard a song from Jonathan McReynolds. Jonathan McReynolds is his name. Let me see. Let me pull it up right quick because I got it. I don't never know no words to the song. But the lyrics said, it's like Molly music. So I really like that. It's kind of like gospel, but it can throw you in the mind of blues. So the lyrics says, I'm closing chapters, I'm turning pages, glory to glory, from faith to faith, I'm moving on. And it repeats that. Then it says, I'm getting older, so I'll keep it straight. It hurts to let go, but it hurts more to stay. I'm moving on. I know my rear view can't compare to what God will do in my life, and I am forgetting what's behind me. I have finally decided I'm moving on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I heard this song, and I must have played this song on repeat for probably 2 or 3 weeks. When I say nothing else got in my earway but this song, I would listen at this song all day cleaning, all day in the salon. Even if I had to put my AirPods on, this song was what I listened to, because I knew it was time for me to do something else. It was time for me to close this chapter of my life. One time before, I got a friend and I started talking about some of the things that I had going on in my life. And it wasn't my friends that I normally rock with, because I didn't want them to know. It was a stranger friend. It was a stranger that I had became friends with but didn't know me. Why did I choose that person to tell my business to? I chose that person to tell my business to because sometimes when we walk with people that we grew up with, they already got expectations about us. We already want to look away in front of them. So I couldn't tell them what I had going on. So I chose to tell a stranger. I told the stranger, I don't want you to tell me what to do. I just want you to listen. I needed a venting partner. I needed somebody to vent to. So in telling this person, they often ask me, how are you going to know when it's time? And I say, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to know when it's time. But for a long time, I knew it wasn't time. But on December the 30th, when things went bad that night, I knew it was time. Only you are going to know when it's time. So if you right now going through a bad relationship, really a bad marriage, and you're not sure, you're just going through the motion, ask yourself, is it time? Is it other things that you want to do in life? Are you running out of time? The same way I felt like I was running out of time for a husband, I felt like I was running out of time for living. I felt like I was carrying a load that I no longer wanted to carry. So I knew I needed to close this chapter. I didn't know. I know I was getting older. My spouse reminded me every time an argument hit, I was old. It don't matter how beautiful I was old. That was another motivator that kept me in that gym, because he couldn't see nothing. Everything he saw in me was bad. And I was really trying to dig deep down inside to find the good in me myself. Because if I really had all this self-esteem that I put out there when I show up, why wasn't I living by it? How many of us do that? Back in the days, I remember they used to say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I'm talking to you. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And that's what I needed to do. I know that I needed to move on. And this song pushed me. I rode that road, and God started to show up every single morning. I get in the car, I turn to the radio station, I would hear the word, I would hear the jokes, I would always get a new song that was going to be my next song once I got tired of that song. So my gospel playlist right now is through the roof, and I will be glad to share it with you, of different songs that inspired me along this journey. But God started to say to me, it's no longer about him. No, you cannot forget what has happened, what's been done, but now it's about you. What's really bothering you? Why do you feel this way when you hear him say this to you? What would make him call you that? Why would you continue to take this? Who are you? So I started to hear God asking me about me, letting me know I needed to dig deeper to find myself. So as I started to go down 52 every morning, 50 minutes to build muscle, I started to build a relationship with God. Remember, I wasn't hearing God at first. So when I really wasn't hearing God, I thought God wasn't showing up. But how many of us know that just because we don't hear God, that don't mean God ain't working on our behalf? Because a lot of times, God is working on our behalf. And one thing I realized is, if I didn't face the adversity that I faced, I would not have been broken to that extent. If I did not get broken to that extent, I would not be here to serve purpose. I would not be able to pour. I would only be able to tell you what somebody else told me. But I'm here to tell you what I experienced. I felt like I was at an all-time low, and I know I needed to take the mask off. It just didn't feel good. We put makeup on to cover up small blemishes, maybe a black eye discoloration, or to enhance beauty, but I was covering up so much more. And people looked at me every day in the beauty salon. Oh, she got it all together. They looked at me every day. People that's friends with my kids, and oh, I got a story for you now. Anytime we talking real talk, whether it's at the kitchen table, in the salon, at the store, I can identify with a whole lot that's going on. I can encourage people in so many ways, but I was also that person that was just strolling, liking, and wasn't living by none of that. I started to get jealous of other things that I saw. When I see people and they posting these pictures and they so happy and they doing things, whether it's real or not, I like it because I want that. I have cravings for that, but that wasn't my life. So I'm happy for you, but something inside of me started to get jealous. If I saw too much of it, I was getting off of social media. I didn't want to see it. Even if I hit the love, even if I commented with the heart, I didn't want to see it because it wasn't a reflection of my life. God started saying to me, you can have that. Your connection in me, you hear my voice, you take my hand, you be led by me, and you can have that too. I started believing because as low as I felt like I was, as hard as it seemed like it was, days started to get easier. January came in and it went out. February came in and it went out. March came and I said, it's 3 months and I'm still doing this thing. I started to see muscle forming in my back. I started to see cuts in my arm. I started to see my pants big in the front, in the waist area, and I was looking good in the midst of all of that. Mind you, I always thought I was fine, but I wasn't this fine. God was working on me on the inside, and God was working on me on the outside. But I had to face reality. I had to identify the problem before God would even start the healing process. I am going to be the first one to tell you over and over again, I ain't claiming that I'm healed because I'm not healed, but I'm healing. I identified some of the problems, and as I identify, I acknowledge. As I acknowledge, I started telling God, this is what I need help on. I need you to build me up here. Remember your parents used to say in a prayer, or even in a song, build me up when I'm torn down. I was torn. I was broken, and it was people in my life that began to see it. So I just say, God, I don't know how you want me to show up, but I'm ready. I'm ready to do just that. Let me talk a little more about the song right quick before I move on from the song. The song also said, my mother told me, she taught me well. Forget your failures, forgive yourself. I'm moving on. And then he goes back to say, I know my rear view can't compare to what God will do in my life. I'm not forgetting what's behind me, but I finally decided to move on. My mama taught me so much game. When I say this lady taught me so much game, it ain't fun. It don't matter where you fail. It don't matter how you fall. What does matter is how you get back up. And she was one person that I could go to, but I didn't really want to tell her all this stuff if I wasn't ready to move on, because you don't want your family to look at the person you're going to be with, you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You don't want them to look at them away. So you be mindful of what you tell them. But once I made sure that that's what I was going to do, I was, honey, get your ears ready, because ain't none of this finna be censored. And I just started giving it to her like it was. And a lot of times she just prayed for me. A lot of times she just listened. Never did she tell me what to do, but she always reminded me of who I was, how I was raised, what I was taught. You got to go to God, and God will guide you through this thing. It's so easy for somebody to tell you to go to God. Go to God. Go to God. One time I used to be like, go to God. Tell me more than that, because where God at? When I say I found love on a lonely highway, I found love on a lonely highway. God is in the midst of all things at all times. In that moment of my life when it was silent and I had that disturbance, I know even with God, I started to hear things. So I said, God, am I crazy? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I wasn't getting answers. So I decided, I think it was God, said, you need somebody to talk to that you can trust. Somebody professional. So I decided that I was going to pay for therapy. I know people think if you get therapy, you crazy. I thought I was crazy too, because I can remember backing up out my yard and hitting the brakes because my eyes was full of water because I asked God, who I'm going to go eat with? Who I'm going to go eat with? Eating was big for me. I didn't know whether I was coming or going. When I got the therapist, they don't tell you what they think you should do, but they unpack what you got going on. So she had her random questions that she asked me, but by the end of the first session, what we had decided that was going on in my life, that my little red wagon was full. That I helped a lot of people in serving purpose, something I thought that I was designed for and something that I thought I needed to do. So we had decided for me, it was time to unpack this red wagon. It was time to take some of the things off of it before my wheels started to break. We don't know how people get to where they are in life, but something got them there. You don't just wake up and be crazy. Something got you there. I was thinking, it ain't gonna be long before I get here. Because not only am I going through all of this stuff, I gotta cover it up. It was times I would be in the salon and somebody would be telling me something they're going through and I would have to take a break and go inside the house to use the bathroom. And I got a bathroom in the salon, but I would go inside the house to use the bathroom just so I can spend 5 minutes with God and pray and cry. Because they're dropping their baggage off over here and I don't have nobody I can do that. I got the stranger, I can do it every now and then, but I don't want to overwhelm them. I got my mama that I can do that too, but I don't get to talk to her all day, every day, because I still got real estate and I still got hair. So I'm just like, I really want to talk back to that person in the chair, but I can't talk back to them about my business. I can't do it. Can't do it. Don't know how. Because I care what they think about me. Let me tell you something funny. So the day I was in the salon, and this ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but it's funny to me. I was in the salon working, and a client of mine, they said, Tia, you paid your taxes already? And I said, what taxes? And they said, your property taxes. And I said, no, I ain't paying them yet. I normally pay my property taxes when I get my income taxes at the first of the year. They said, well, you know today is the last day to pay your taxes or your name won't go in the paper. I said, I didn't know that. I don't give a damn if my name go in the paper or not. What they gonna say? The real estate agent name in the paper? So what? Here they go advertising for me. My name in the paper. I'm gonna pay them when I can pay them. Now I gotta go find the taxes so I can see how much the taxes are and I can pay the taxes. I may pay them today. I may not pay them today. But I say all that to say is God got me in a position where I don't care if you see my name in the paper. I'm human. I don't care. If I don't ever fall in this thing called life, how will I get back up? How will I learn? Quit beating up yourself about falling. Quit beating up yourself about failures. When you get in your car, if you focus on the windshield, what's in front of you in the windshield versus focusing what's behind you in the rearview mirror, you'll get to your journey so much quicker. Switch your focus. Because I could not get where I am today when I was just focusing on what that man needed to change. I started saying, you can blame me for whatever. You don't have to change anything because I don't want you no more. I don't want you to change nothing. If you change something, it's going to be for somebody else because it's not going to be for me because I'm not there anymore. I've been asking you to change things for us for 4 years. Now I don't care if you change them or not. And of course I got that story. I'll change everything. I'll change everything. You don't have to because I don't want you to change anything. I want the changes that I see now to start with me. I want to change me because why am I fighting with you? Tell me that. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. I'm affectionate. I know God, whether I hear him, whether I disobey him, whether I connect on levels. I know God. And that's not who God designed me to be. So why was I doing it? So I'm just about to check myself before I wreck myself. I'm no longer concerned with your temple and how you make it. I'm only concerned with me. So I stopped pointing blame. I stopped pointing my fingers. I stopped putting the blame on somebody else. And I just started being accountable. That's what the fact still remains. He did what he did. I felt how I felt. All that remains the same. None of that changed. But why did I allow that? Why did I sit there in that thing so long? Why? Ask yourself the same thing. Some points to ponder. That therapy that I needed for me, I got it. I got as much as I could. I got as much as I thought I needed. And if I need to schedule a session a day or tomorrow, I'll still schedule a session. Make me no never mind. I like talking to somebody just so I can see the validity in what I'm saying. I can look at it from point A to point B. I don't have to just be a one-way thinker, because a lot of time that's our problem. We are one-way thinker. Right or wrong, uncomfortable or comfortable, God said, I need you to tell somebody else your story. I need you to let them know what you've been through, how you walking around, how you looking the way you looking. None of me, all of God, all of it. I'm not all of God. I don't want to leave nothing off, but I don't want to, sometimes we feel like we're being attacked. Do you know if the heart gets attacked, if we have issues when it comes to heartbroken, everything gets disturbed. Your vision gets blurred. Your mind, the way you start thinking you're a crazy person. I thought I needed the therapy because I didn't know whether I was coming or going. I couldn't see things clear. Everything, your body, you get in a depressed state, you don't want to get off that chair. You may go to work because you know bills still got to get paid, but you're mindful how you move. The things that you would just get up and do happen, because when your heart is attacked, everything stems for it. Just like if somebody right now have a heart attack just out of sickness, they start talking about, oh, now their kidneys doing something. Now we got them on oxygen, they can't breathe. You see how something can attack your heart and shut your whole body down? Listen. If you are connected and you are mindful to what you let come in and out of your body, even if that's in your airway, if that's in your brain, even with your heart. I ain't telling nobody to be closed off and not love again, because I'm here to let you know, when I get to that point where I'm a year separated and I can get that divorce, baby, I'm probably going to remarry. I ain't saying I'm being no rush, but I'm just saying I like a partner. I like a partner. One thing I will say, relationships has taught me in life, is taught me what to look for in people. It's taught me what to be in myself. It's taught me what to accept. So I know how to look for the good and I know how to look for the bad. I know how to vet them. So all I'm saying is, I ain't opposed to love. I ain't bitter by it. It's somebody out there waiting on me and I'm waiting on somebody. But when I hear God this time, baby, I'm going to make it do what it do. And you can bet that. 11 months ago, I did a live. And if you go back on my page, I think the date was January 21st, 2022. It was 18 minutes and 54 seconds to be exact. I was on a birthday trip with my homegirl, and I did a live. Just the name of the live, I think, was something about sticks and stones may break my bones. And I was talking, and people like to say sticks and stones may break my bones and words will never hurt me. So I did that live, and I had a transparent moment in that live where I almost got to a breaking point, and I would have never showed up on live like that, but I was taking a shower, and that's when God showed up for me. He started to show up in my car on 52 on that lonely highway, and then he started to show up in the shower. So I just always figure when I was in the shower and he showed up, he was cleansing me. I couldn't take a shower without being there for at least 15, 20 minutes, and I couldn't take a shower and come out without having bloodshot red eyes. Every shower I took, I was crying. Every shower. But every time I got out the shower, my soul started to feel better and better and better. So I didn't even mind getting in the showers because God was giving me other stuff. He was giving me stuff to do with other people, different ways to connect. He was making my real estate relationships connections clearer. It was like he was giving me what I needed to prepare me for this journey. So I got out the shower, I did the live, I said the thing about sticks and stones may break my bones, but I switched it and said words hurt me too. And I told people, check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends. I went on that trip with my homegirl and she checked on me the entire time. I didn't want to go on that trip with her. I was in a bad place. I know I needed to get out of the home that I resided in because it was still toxic. Every time somebody left the house, it was another opportunity for the enemy to attack, to talk about what we could do. It was no more that we could do. So I needed to get out of there. My 23-year-old, 24, whichever, she encouraged me, Mama, go. I went, and every day I went, I still had therapy sessions. I left the house where everything was going down at, and I went in a parking lot, whether it was Walmart, Publix, and I sat on that phone and I had therapeutic conversation with my therapy, and I would cry, like I was going through it. And the people I was with, they still didn't know. And the whole time I was going through it, people was running their mouth saying I was up there with a man. I was doing this, that, and the third. And it bothered me. How many times we'll sit here and say, what you eat don't make me shit? Quit acting like you're not bothered by what people say. Sometimes we are. We are bothered by what people say, especially when we want to look away. Especially when we're doing the right things. And God knows I was doing the right things. You know how many times I sung Keisha Cole songs I should have cheated? You know. Man, listen here. People, we done talked about opinions. We done talked about disobeying God. And now I'm just telling you how I found love on a lonely highway. I'm telling you how I had to turn that thing around and make it about me and not about him. I got so much stuff to unpack, but I wanted to come before you today just to tell you how I started my journey of healing, how I started my journey to start coming before you just to tell you some of what I was going through. And needless to say, I'm not for everybody. However, it's somebody out there that is experiencing pain right now in the same format, just a different situation. I don't care if it's opposite sex or same sex. When you're in a toxic relationship, you got to be the one to make the change. But don't make the change because all you do is see the fault in somebody. See the fault in you too, because it's a reason why you're there to start with. It's a reason why you attracted that. It's a reason why you're settling for that. So get to the root of whatever's keeping you there. Identify the problem so you can rectify it for yourself. Because if not, you're going to repeat the cycle. When I'm strolling sometime, when I'm talking to people, you know how the computer starts to hear things that you're saying or things you're looking at. I started seeing a whole lot of stuff about narcissists. And I started having flashbacks. And I started doing the research because I was called a narcissist a time or two. Along with a stupid bitch or a dumb bitch or a sickening bitch or uppity. I mean, you know how you can stew chicken, fried chicken, baked chicken, broiled chicken. That's just kind of what it was when it came to bitch. And one day I say, if that's all you can say, I guess I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. I'm never going to put people in a box and start judging them and calling them, you are this, you are that. It ain't my place to judge you. That's between you and God, what you are. I know what I ain't. I ain't there. Because I made up in my mind I was going to do something different for me. So, again, I pray that somebody under the sound of my voice can execute their next play in excellence. Figure it out. Find you somebody to talk to. Find you somebody. It don't have to be your friend. It don't have to be the preacher. It don't have to be, find you somebody. You'll be surprised how a stranger can become a great source. You got to find somebody that you trust, somebody that can listen to you and be mindful what you take and what you leave. You're looking for a person to listen at you, because when you get somebody to listen at you, you'll begin to hear yourself. Did I just say that? Yeah, you said that. That's a part of admitting it, acknowledging whatever it is you got going on. So I just want to encourage you on today to choose you. If you need therapy, get that. If you need somebody to talk to, get that. If you need a spa day, get that. If you need to take yourself out for a dinner and a movie, whatever you need, get it. I spent so much time saying, oh, he don't do this for me. Oh, he don't take me out to this. Now I take trips by myself. I go to the movie by myself. I eat popcorn by myself. I do lunch by myself. I like a partner and I would love to have one, but I can do it by myself. Don't expect people to do for you what you won't do for you. I didn't say can't, because that's a whole nother topic. It's like sitting here saying you want somebody that got 6 figures and you only got 3 figures. I ain't talking about can't, I'm talking about won't. You won't do it for you, but you want somebody else to do it. I'm going to do it for me. I'm going to do it for me, baby. I'm going to do it for me. And I challenge you to do it for you. So, share this with a friend. Make sure you subscribe, like, listen. In order for me to keep these things going, I am going to need you to help me out in telling someone about this podcast, inviting them to the platform just to listen. We're not bashing nobody. This thing go full circle. I just happen to be the woman that went through it, but it's men out there that face these same type of adversities. Whoever you are, whether you are men or women going through it, I still say the same thing. Choose you. Choose you. And when you start pointing blame, make sure you accept responsibility. It's your homegirl, Tan is my realtor, and I'm tapping out. I love you guys. Be amazing.